Hello, Disney friends. I am Sam from Sam's Disney Diary. That is the blue-haired blogger himself with his Snow White bow. We must have got a preview of Snow White. We'll talk about that in a minute and so much more. It is Wednesday. Back to Wednesday, Greg. March the 19th, 2025. I'm still in my Starship. Greg, I was hooked up to the Bacta tank earlier today, getting some recovery, starting to feel a little better. But what all we have this week, my friend?
My friend, welcome back to Wednesday nights. I'm glad the Back to Tank has kept you well. One of us saw Snow White and has thoughts. Lots of thoughts. Good thoughts, but thoughts. So we'll talk about those thoughts in a little bit. But we're going to talk about the Elite 8 on our bracket challenge.
Yes.
And what a great challenge it's been. A lot of interactions going on with it. So thank you all so much. We got a new popcorn mascot at Disney.
What?
Say what?
You know what? I woke up, Greg, recently, and I thought, you know what we need? A masked walk-around character that's a popcorn bucket. And I hope that's what we eventually get. But Sam, for now, we have a mascot.
I have thoughts. I am a popcorn bucket site who happens to write about Disney, apparently. So we got thoughts on that one. Hey, the Simpsons now have a 24/7 live channel on, not live, but a 24/7 channel on Disney Plus. We're going to talk the amazing Geo 82 coming to EPCOT. We got lightsaber changes over at Galaxy's Edge. Easter. We got Easter at Grand Floridian. We got Easter bunnies. We got Easter Mickey. We got Easter out your Easter bunny stuff. Watch your language, my friend. More new merch. Raglan Road. We were there for St. Patty's Day for the Mighty Festival. What a great time we had over there. We're going to talk Animal Kingdom. We got new park maps, new activity guides. We're going to talk about Tough to Be a Bug. And of course, there's new DVC Lounge. And Sam, as we end every week, we got a new Muppet magnet.
We got a magnet, and we're also going to be talking about that Elite 8 getting down to the Final Four. All that and more coming up. Let us know where you're from in the chat. Thanks for following us. We'll be right back. Thanks, Greg. Thanks all of you for hanging it out with us tonight. By the way, if you're listening, remember there's a YouTube feed with a lot of visuals. We'll do our best to talk about what it is that we're looking at, but there's a lot happening. Greg, I see that you have your banana for scale.
Sam, I hope I sent you the pictures of banana for scale this week.
You did.
Good. I don't know if they made it into the show or not, but
that's right.
Listen, hey, we got to check in with you. We know you were in the Bacta tank. We know the leg we're hoping is healing nicely. How are you doing, my friend? At least we are back on Wednesdays. Put a smile on your face. Have some fun.
That's right. That's right. And thank you, Lily. Thank you so much for being there and missing us the last 2 weeks. As a quick update, I was in a little accident and I broke my leg, and that forced us to miss a show. And then we did a really quick one because there was so much news we needed to cover. But we're back to Wednesday nights. I'm not in my normal location. I'm in my starship. I'm healing as need to be. So thank you very much for that. And Greg, there's a lot happening this week, man.
There's so much. It's Disney. Like every week we sit there and have the conversation. What are we going to talk about next week? Yeah. But my friend, we have a lot to talk about. I want to do a quick Snow White thing, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, please do. So Snow White live action opens in theaters tomorrow.
Yes,
right?
Which is Thursday. Now,
buy your tickets now, but yeah. I know someone that might have seen it already as part of a D23 event at the AMC Theater at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, last night we got to go to the advanced screening with as a D23 Gold member. We got to go out and see Snow White, and you know, when you go out to these things, it's a lot better to go out with a group of friends than to go alone sometimes. So Holly and I were joined by our friends at the Main Street Mouse and
That's
Jeremiah,
awesome.
And we got to see Mouse Steps over there, and you know, we all just hung out and had a great time. And the whole front row was wearing our bows. They gave out free bows. The
part of the D23, which, by the way, let me make it clear, Greg, because I want everybody to realize this. You were in line to get these tickets before they went on sale. You went out of your way to make sure you could secure the seats through the D23 website, just like any D23 Gold member could do. Nobody gave you tickets, is what I'm saying.
Yes, and they did a screening in Orlando, New York, Pittsburgh, I think it was one, or Philadelphia,
LA,
one, Chicago, Minneapolis, Phoenix. So there was previews everywhere. Yeah, and I'm not going to spoil the movie. You can go to fantasylandnews.com and read my spoiler-free review, and it really is spoiler-free. Give my thoughts on the movie. People who have never seen Snow White, go see this movie. It's Snow White. People who have seen Snow White, good luck.
Well, so when you say this is a spoiler-free review, there was a movie that came out in the 1930s sometime that sort of went through the plot line, but we'll just leave that as it is. I'm fine with it like you are. I, for one, look back to Walt Disney in the interviews that they had with Walt, where he had all of these books on the bookshelf, and he would pull them out and say, every movie starts with a story, and you need a story to make this good. And half of me says I want more original stories, but then I think last year we were talking about Wish and going, meh.
Right.
So
and listen, some of these stories kids have never seen. So think of kids 30 and younger who may not have seen Snow White or may not know what it is. This is for their kids, our grandkids. This is for kids who have never had the experience of Snow White. And listen, times change, things happen. There is some amazing Walt Disney in this picture. There is some scenic shots that are so magical, and the audio it's just updated Disney magic.
That's great.
And then Gal Gadot talks, and that's the end of that review. It's fine.
Fine. I'm assuming this was not a 3D presentation. This was a traditional 2D screen.
2D, yeah. And so Disney had come up with a new way of shooting the films where he had like the 7 layers, so you could move through.
Yeah, the multiplay camera. Absolutely.
There was a few shots that were so spectacular of her in the forest with this panoramic view where I put it in my review. It felt like the trees were on top of you. You felt the presence of how thick that forest was.
I love it.
That's a Disney visual thing that they can do, and that's what kept me into this movie. It's those little Disney-esque things that were just magical. So listen, I don't want to sound like a shill, but I think younger people who have never seen it, go see it. People who are stuck on the original Snow White, there you go.
There you go. It wasn't bad. It was mostly good. I love that review from Holly.
Listen, Sam, here is my new rating system. We have in the middle, it's fine. If it's less than fine, it's not that good. If it's greater than fine, but it's fine. Like the last 3 movies, Mufasa, Moana, Snow White, literally, here's my review. It's fine.
Which, by the way, Moana 2 brought down 27 million views over the weekend on Disney Plus. And unfortunately, I was not one of them. It's still on my list. I just didn't get to it.
You did not watch it, my friend?
I just didn't get to it. There's a lot going on. I got physical therapy to get myself
yes,
through.
You do. You need to get through a whole lot of stuff. So sitting there for an hour and a half. But listen, you got nothing but time right now.
This is true. All right, let's jump over to Disneyland and to Downtown Disney. Because at Downtown Disney, we learned maybe in the fall there were 4 new stores coming, and one of them was the Wonderful World of Sweets, if I was correct in remembering it. And Greg, tell me about Poppy, the popcorn bucket.
Dude, it's Poppy. Like,
now look, the first thing I thought was get off the couch, but that's a Seinfeld episode, and we won't go there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought when they said Poppy.
I didn't think of that yet. Thank you, sir, for bringing that up live on air.
We're just staying on the couch.
It's Poppy. Okay. Disney does not create new characters that are park-specific characters very often. The newest one we've had was Jolly, the gingerbread person. Ollie, not Jolly. Yes. I put Jolly. Ollie.
Well, Jollywood Nights. Ollie's had Jollywood Nights. Again.
Right. Yeah. So he is a park exclusive. He came to the parks. Before that, we have obviously Figment, Orange Bird, Duffy the Bear, and all of his friends. And there's not many other characters. Like DJ Rex is a park exclusive character. He was never in a movie. So this is a new character specifically created for Disneyland, and it is Poppy the popcorn bucket. He literally is the epitome of all popcorn bucket goodness.
Yeah,
and
he
has a family. Did you see he has a family, my friend?
I don't have any images of it, but I saw that there were characters here. Now let's talk about Poppy for a second, because when I first saw Poppy, the popcorn bucket, which, by the way, this picture, Greg, needs a banana for scale, because I can't tell if Poppy's a foot tall or if it's 6 inches.
We need to get to Disneyland and bring our banana for scale,
because I don't know how big this Poppy is. But when I first saw Poppy, I thought it was the wishing star from Wish, because it looks very similar.
Yes,
with Mickey ears.
Okay, so I've heard from few people. One, it looks like a piece of corn, a corn kernel. The other it could have been a tooth.
All of these things accurate. Yes.
And I went, no, it is a popped popcorn.
It is a popcorn kernel.
It is a popped corn. It is a popcorn.
It's one of it's one of the round ones. There's 2 different types of popcorn. You know what I mean? It's one that.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's that round. It's the round guy. It's not the long little one with the little piece of. It's the round one that has that little piece that gets stuck in the back of your throat, and you're like the whole time trying to get that piece kernel out. I look, man. You know me. I'm a popcorn bucket guy. More importantly, I'm a weird character guy. So I instantly
a couple of boxes for you.
Yeah. Instantly was like, so Poppy actually came out. This opened up about a month and a half ago. So Poppy showed up then. No one really knew that it was going to be a park exclusive character, and it is park exclusive Disneyland, and it's really for Wonderful World of Sweets out at Disneyland. What is it? Downtown Disneyland.
It's at Downtown Disney. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sam, when I get out there, I will be buying me a Poppy.
Yeah, exactly. Will Poppy be a walk around character? What do you think?
Sam, if it comes, listen, you know me, I left Disneyland to go meet Bing Bong. I had to leave you. I had to leave everybody. I was like, I'm on a mission to go meet Bing Bong.
Yes.
If Poppy comes out as a walk around character, my friend, I will fly to Disneyland for the day. I won't buy a ticket to go there.
You won't need to. Yeah, you just got to get into Downtown Disney. Yeah.
Right. All I got to do is get to Downtown Disney. I don't have to go in the park, but I will be there for a meet and greet with him.
That's awesome.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, Poppy.
It's Poppy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great.
All right. Let's move on to some other big news that dropped. I don't know if it's big news or not, but Disney Plus introduced a new stream. I'm going to talk about streams for a second, but this new stream is The Simpsons. So it's a 24-hour Simpsons channel that you can just tune into, and it is playing all the Simpsons in order from season 1.
Yeah, and that's they're going to start off with the first few months playing the seasons in order, and then who knows what's going to happen. They said they're going to have a curated playlist after that.
Yes, and that's essentially what it is. And I guess I had missed within Disney Plus there is an icon for streams, and if you go there now. For example, ABC News is a stream that you can watch. And now The Simpsons is a stream, and they have a stream of things for Disney fans. They have a Playhouse Disney Junior type stream, and it's just sort of interesting to see them kind of moving to live TV. I mean, ABC News is live TV, right? Just all the time.
So let's go back. That was what we heard was the interest in buying Hulu or buying a stake in Hulu was for, because Hulu already had Hulu Live out, and they already had everything set up so you could start instantly streaming live events. Disney has moved more into more and more live events going on recently, whether it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or other of the Oscars,
Fire Aid,
Thanksgiving Day parade, so Christmas. So they're moving into more of this. So seeing this is just a step in that direction. We're going to have the question of what's the price increase that's going to happen when they start doing this more. Is it still cost effective to cut the cord and just get Disney Plus for everything? Or are you going to, is it going to cost the same as having cable and stuff where you can literally watch The Simpsons?
We are watching the evolution happen in front of us, Craig, but you're absolutely right.
The revolution is live.
That's right. What is Hit and Run?
A video game that came out many, many years ago on the PlayStation, I believe.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks, Vlad, for bringing that up. I should have looked at the comments. I knew as soon as you said Hit and Run, my son had said that. I know my kids. Yeah.
All right, let's head over to EPCOT, because we've known for quite some time that there was going to be a new lounge open in Spaceship Earth, the area that used to be the corporate area, and now we have a name for that. It's called GO82.
I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about that name?
I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna take I'm fine with it.
I love it. Come on, man. Geo meaning
Geosphere
Earth
from 1982. Sure, I see what they did there.
Geo means Earth or sphere. I mean,
sphere. You're inside of the geosphere, right?
Yeah. And Geo literally means Earth. Yep. And then 1982, when EPCOT opened, it's a callback to the history. What I'm more excited about, Sam, and you may understand this and agree with me or not, because you now have kids who are older than over age. Not all of them. You still have some under 21.
Yeah.
This is an adult. This is the second adults only lounge at Walt Disney World, and the first adults only lounge inside of a Disney park.
Where is the first one?
That would be the Tiki Trader Sam's Grotto, which at 8 p.m. goes no kids. So you have to be 21 and over after 8 p.m.
It was the one thing that jumped out at me. This is an over 21 only establishment. I'm okay with that. It's not like there's a lack of other things around to do, Greg, right? There's plenty of things around World Showcase, but this could be a good little retreat for adults. I get it.
I am happy to go up there, and what I'm going to love is going up there and, not hearing a baby cry for 5 minutes or something. But here's what this really means, and this is what I love, is look out the window on your left-hand side of that image. Yes. You see down World Celebration, down World Showcase Bridge, all the way to see Luminous in the distance.
Yes.
You're going to be able to see those tiki torches around the whole of World Showcase. You're going to be able to see the lights, and the audio is going to be pumped in there. The fireworks are going to look fabulous. And then you're going to be able to look over World Celebration when the Spaceship Earth icon shows go off, and you're going to be able to see World Showcase, World Celebration light up in all the different colors.
I just want to see from that vantage point the welcome when the rocket shoots from each of the countries and they say welcome. I think that would be amazing. And of course, they're going to pump the music back into this place. So this would be a wonderful vantage point for Luminous.
Right. This is the one that we're looking forward to. We do not know what the menu is going to be like. That's going to be coming out soon. And we don't know how reservations are going to be working, but they do say that you must have an ID and be over 21 to enter this establishment. So, we're going to talk more about the new DVC Lounge and how Disney is really cracking down about showing IDs with your passes. So
IDs and the app with an active pass.
Yes.
I mean, even for annual pass holder discounts this last trip, the card wasn't enough. It was, can I see it in the app as valid? Because when you go into the app and you show it, you know if it's valid or not.
Yeah. And
Lily,
there's subtle Lily, I think Lily, you're right on that. One of the things I like about is the lighting that ties into the lighting that you see over in Connections Eatery and Creation Shop and over in World. Like, again, this is Zach Ridley's baby, where he tried to get everything to tie in across each land, and there was some distinct points that he pointed out to us. And look at the ground on there, like even the tiles are the tiles you see.
Carpet looks very much reminiscent of Spaceship Earth design. It's
I'm
really
hyped
cool.
for this. I'm really happy when they announced this. I think this is going to be a good establishment.
Greg, I'd just like to go up there and look at the vantage point, because with all the construction walls finally down, we've been in this area before. They've had media events in here before, and it's a wonderful view. But to now see it with World Celebration Garden and World Celebration and everything open, the construction wall's gone. It'd be interesting to see what you see.
Absolutely. It's gonna and you know what? Look, you and I will partake in an adult beverage or two and enjoy the view.
Yes. Or a mocktail.
And sit down for 5 minutes.
I mean, if you have some pain meds happening, you might need a mocktail, and that's okay because there's some really good mocktails around World Showcase Garden. But let's move on, Greg. And I want you. This is something that you brought up on your over at Fantasyland News.
Yeah,
and that is this you tell me about it. It's the new lightsaber hilts that are available at Galaxy's Edge or even beyond. Tell me about it.
This is a new experience that they announced for what was originally for California for Seasons of the Force coming to Disneyland. Okay. We did not know that this was coming to Batuu East or to Walt Disney World. And now you're going to be able to get new lightsabers that fell into the hands of smugglers and bounty hunters from across the galaxy. So ancient battles, abandoned scrap, it's scavenged stuff. So you're going to be able to mix and match some of these hilts to create your own. And they are going to be doing it for a limiting time starting May 4th. And it just, I mean, basically what it's saying is it's scraps that have been scavenged by different pirates throughout the galaxy and made their way to Batuu. Just so everybody knows, the lightsaber experience on Batuu starts at, I think it's completely $249.99 per lightsaber build.
Okay.
So this is coming on May 4th and is coming to both Disneyland, and they did announce it for Walt Disney World. And it does say limited time.
Oh, it says limited time. Okay, that was going to be my other thought. You also had some hilts that you took an image of. Is this also at Galaxy's Edge?
Those were at Disney Springs of all places.
Okay. No, I'm not surprised because they have been showing up at Disney Springs. There's a single Star Wars store down there now, and I'd seen them there before.
Yeah, I mean, the lightsabers you can purchase, and these are all pre-built ones. Have you ever done the build your own lightsaber experience?
I did. I did it once when it first opened. I paid for my own saber, and it was fun. I have it right here. Looks a little like it. Well, I think you can see it a little bit. I do have it.
Yeah, there it is. Right.
Not bad at all. I'm sure this is build your own, but it looks remarkably like Vader's.
It kind of does. Yeah.
It does. When you go with the power and I forget what you picked, but yes, I do have one that I built.
So basically what it is, it's going to be new hilts, new add-ons to it. You're going to be able to build different versions. Now, what I'm interested in is see what characters they bring in from across the galaxies, because there is some vast characters out there in the Star Wars universe that you and I both know. And just because we happen to be Star Wars geeks, we may know the characters better than some. So I don't know how this is going to work with the general public. But if I'm going by my website, people love this thing.
Yes. Anytime you do something new like this, they love it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Over at EPCOT in Mexico, the Grand Fiesta Tour opened a couple of days early, right?
Yeah, about a day early.
Nice.
And it didn't fare so well. Let's just put it that way. On pre-opening, it lived up to its name. It's a pre-opening, and they do tell you, hey, we're not fully open and operational. Some things may go wrong, and some things did go wrong. But by the end of the day, it was all working perfectly.
Okay. Were you able to ride, and are there any major changes or just cleaned up, brightened
Major
up?
changes, I would say no, but there is updates and upgrades. Lighting effects across the whole ride. It is brighter. You can see things a whole lot clearer. The screens or projectors, I don't know if it's projectors or screens, whatever they're using, are now 4K.
Wonderful.
They look fabulous.
Not that they were bad before. Right. I mean, it's Donald cartoons. You weren't exactly doing, but okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
No, they look great. Everything was synced up, running well. In the ending, I know a lot of people were concerned that the pop caps guns that they have that I think it's Jose has.
Yeah, they say boom on the side of them. Yeah,
they are still there. Everything's still there. I originally thought that there was a new song playing at the end. I was wrong. I had to go back and listen to my original recording. But yeah, I mean, it's just better.
Grand Fiesta Tour is back online, and there's nothing wrong with that. And this was a really 6-week downtime. This went down in January. We're back in March.
January 6th. We're at May 15th. It opened.
March. Yeah.
March.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever month it is.
Let's head into Easter, because you found some plush, which, by the way, Disney Store has a whole lot of Easter plush available. This being Minnie Mouse and, of course, Minnie and Mickey.
Yeah, can I go off on a Greg little rant for a second?
Yeah, sure. I love it.
All right. So listen, that is Minnie Mouse right there. And she is holding a chocolate bunny, taking a bite out of a chocolate bunny while wearing a bunny suit.
Okay.
How did she get the bunny suit, Sam? Did she hollow out a bunny and steal its flesh and put it on her body? Like, she's eating a bunny, being a bunny.
It's chocolate bunny. It's fine.
Dude, it's a bunny. While she's a bunny.
All right, there's some plush.
That's my second Seinfeld rant for the day. Second day.
There you go. All right. I do have a question for you. You got a couple of character meet and greets over at Hollywood Studios. Sully is back. I don't know if Sully disappeared for a while or if he's back.
No, he's always been there. He's just there.
Hey, well, Sully was there a long time. I just wasn't sure if he came back.
Sully used to meet where Ariel, the Little Mermaid from the new live action Little Mermaid, meets in Walt Disney Presents Theater. But he's back over in the Pixar Place area, and he's been there for months. And every once in a while, Sam, you just have to stop in and just take a moment. Especially last week, no one was in line anywhere back there. It was me, and I was just like, I feel a little weird. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go hug big on Sully.
There you go. Sully's great. And like hugging a bear, I would expect.
Yes, and I have hugged a bear or two, Sam. And that is like hugging a bear.
And of course,
right, Holly? Joy. And there's Joy. She brings me joy. We always talk about, she gives me hair tips every day.
I'm sure she does.
She's like, I can't figure out how she gets the sparkles.
There's a spray can for that.
I'm
pretty sure.
I'm coming on next week with sparkles in my hair, Sam.
Yeah. Does Minnie spell like chocolate? That's a great question, Mayor.
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Mickey and Minnie smell like chocolate.
Okay. Stitch merchandise is showing up because, live action Snow White may be opening this week, but we're about a month away from the live action Lilo and Stitch, of which we've got a new trailer.
A month away? We're 2.5 months away from it.
2.5 months. All right.
There's my problem with Disney right there, Sam. I'm going to rant for a second. Excuse me. Snow White comes out in 2 days. Tickets are on sale. Previews have happened. They waited until the reviews came out at 3 p.m. today to drop all these new Stitch posters of Stitch interrupting Stitch interrupts princesses. So he showed up in the Aladdin poster, in a Beauty and the Beast poster, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, come on, Disney, have some faith in Snow White.
Yeah, give it a weekend, man.
Give us a break, man. And here's my other problem, Sam, on rant number 3 tonight. All these people who are like, you got to make new movies. We want new movies. But you announced Lilo and Stitch and people's heads exploded. They were like, this is the greatest live action movie ever. Kaboosh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. So there's new merchandise. And
there's new merchandise. There's a new Loungefly.
The Cosmic Stitch Collection. He's obviously far out of this world, and you can see Hello Universe. And there's a new jean jacket that goes along with it, which you need in the mornings down here, because we're in that where it's like winter in the morning, burning hot August sun in the afternoon. So you need a jacket in the morning. Loungeflies, 2 t-shirts. There was the jacket, and the Loungefly also had a purse that came with it.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah. It's really cute. Cool. I don't know. I'm not yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Disney Springs and St. Patrick's Day, because you spent a little bit of time at Raglan Road, which, look, I think every year Raglan Road and St. Patrick's Day weekend gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and they've really turned it into quite the event at Springs.
They really have. I want to thank Raglan Road for having us out to preview what's going on over there. And also, it was the opening of the new Patty's Bar that is right on the corner, right across from Morimoto Asia, which is right just down the walkway from Gideon's Bakehouse, across the little Disney Springs from Deluxe Burger and Blaze Pizza and stuff. Patty's Bar is, you literally can pull up a stool at the bar and just sit there and have a good time with your favorite Irish drinks.
So this
Patty's Bar also has a lot of new tile work that came in directly from Ireland. And Michael Cook, one of the co-owners of this place, was there for the ribbon cutting, and he greeted us all. And what a great guy. We appreciate him. He's always been really nice to us. And we were there for the grand opening of Patty's Bar. And man, you know what, Sam? I think if they had a television going on back there, you and I would have a new spot on Sundays when you were down here.
It looks great. This, I think this area used to be sort of a little just walk-up bar where you get things. They turned it into something more formal, because this is kind of between Raglan Road and Cookies, right?
And Cooks.
Cooks, yes. And it's between those. And it used to be one of those temporary bars were there, but this looks pretty awesome, man.
This is beautiful. I love this. So apparently they wanted to keep it smaller. They didn't want to go to this giant, massive area and have lots of people.
Okay.
They wanted it to be like you were going to your local pub and you were going to grab a pint with your boys.
That's awesome. There's so many options down there at Disney Springs. It's a great new addition.
I love it. And there it is. You can see the stools right there waiting for us.
Yeah. I that's awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Looks like some green drinks and a Mighty Festival menu for
St. Patrick's. So Mighty Festival is the St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Week Festival they have at Raglan Road. They have brunch specials. They have food specials. They obviously have drink specials. This is the, I want to say, the Irish Empress. And boy, was it, I mean, the one thing that Raglan Road knows how to do is ply you with spirits while you're doing a media event. And I'm not kidding, they treat you so well, and they give you everything you want to try. And what they want you to do is they want you to taste everything so you can go back to your audience and give them an honest opinion. Is this good? Is this bad? Does this look, is this presentable? And then they want the opinions back to them, where our audience gives a reply and goes, I like this, I didn't like that. And they try and adapt that way. Again, Raglan Road knows what they're doing, and they're great people over there.
Here is a picture of the menu. Let me skip ahead a couple of pictures here, which, by the way, they have an image of you on the wall, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, there's the nice I'm sitting with a poet and didn't even know it.
Food looked like lots and lots and lots of food down there. The stage was set up. This is inside of Raglan Road, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they had I think 8 bands fly in from Ireland itself to play. And man, did we have a great time listening to a few of the bands. And there's in America, we don't have that Irish drinking band playing in the bar where it's just a bunch of guys who get together who are farmers during the day, and they're like, yeah, I'd play the fiddle at nighttime.
Exactly.
That's what this was all about. And again, it turned into a festival.
I love it. It looks like the food looks phenomenal. Anything here stand out?
All of it. The Irish breakfast is top notch. That's the Irish breakfast.
Okay.
Top notch. Sam, I don't know about you. I'm going to talk years and years ago. That was hangover food. And then you could start again the next day, which you want to do while going to the Mighty Festival, all 4 or 5 days of it. You're going to need something like that. Was good.
Is it Thursday through Sunday, or when?
Yeah, it was Thursday through Sunday.
Got it.
Super and cool. they I'm telling you, get there early. That place gets packed. They have a great time. The servers are fun to be around, but they still keep the Irish dancers are still performing. They have bands then play with them. This is Claudia. These guys just were so fun.
Do you have audio? I'm not sure if I shared it or not.
I don't hear audio.
No, so apologies then.
Just think Irish music in a bar.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you don't want me to do that. I would just end up saying something stupid.
All right, that is St. Patrick's Day at Raglan Road, and of course, by
the way, check out their lunch, their brunch menu. On top of, they do make probably the best fish and chips in Central Florida. And go say hi to Rachel, the general manager over there.
Okay,
absolutely one of the nicest people, and I got to podcast with her when she came over, and a fabulous restaurateur.
That's incredible. At United Kingdom in EPCOT, do you know if they had green beer or not? I've been there on St. Patrick's Day, and they had green beer in the cart.
Meredith, the first spelling. I had heard rumors that they did, and I may have seen a picture or two, but I don't know if it was a picture from last year or whatever.
I've experienced that in the past. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's head over to Animal Kingdom, my friend, because Animal Kingdom, we saw some changes. Also, in addition to the map, a new experience guide at Animal Kingdom, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, that's really good.
We'll get to that in just a second. This is the map. And of course, on the map in Discovery Island, It's Tough to Be a Bug is no longer there. That attraction has closed officially. And of course, Dinoland USA looks like just a bunch of greenery with Dinosaur and the Boneyard, and that's about it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today, Sam.
Yeah.
At what point do we go from calling it Dinoland USA and they destroyed Chester and Hester's, and referring to it by the old name, and start using the new Encanto area?
I think as long as Dinosaur is opened, it'll be Dinoland USA.
I'm waiting for them to just start finish with the cleanup, and when they start breaking ground on the new, that's when I'm changing the name.
Yes.
And by the way, this bow is killing me. I gotta. Oh my god. Whew.
Love it. All right, let's move on to this new experience guide in Animal Kingdom. So it's multi-pages. This reminds me of the old Times guide or so that kids would grab on the way in, but this is just something to keep kids busy, similar to the EPCOT for Kids passport that they created.
It's exactly that. It's, Mom, I want to go meet Mickey. Mom, I want to go meet Mickey. Can we go to Festival of Fantasy at 11:10? Can we go see Festival of Can we go see Flight of Birds? That's what it is. It's actually really smart. So this is the first time they've done this in many years. and it showed up there. I thought that they were going to be adding a few things with the taking out of Tough to Be a Bug and Dino Land. So, but they didn't. What's really nice about this, and what I was happy about, is on the back side of it, they actually do have a great list of character meet and greets and times. And yes, it is all available on the app, but sometimes that information takes extra clicks, and trying to figure out where that is can get a little annoying, and you're already looking at your phone enough. This takes looking at your phone, you grab the piece of paper and you go, I can go meet Pluto at 12:15 at wherever Pluto is.
I would say that this is the pamphlet you hand to the child in the stroller, and they go, oh, let's do this. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, unless it's my child and they want the map.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Bradley, thanks for asking. I am doing better. I was hooked up to my Bacta tank all day today, so I'm feeling a little bit better, but still not 100%. Hopefully, I'll be walking in someplace soon. Greg, you also went over to check out It's Tough to Be a Bug, and you found no trace whatsoever.
This is 6 hours after the park closed. I'm sorry, 8 hours after the park closed, right? Come in the next morning at 8 a.m., and this is what it looks like. Now, just a few hours before, It's Tough to Be a Bug, and there was a giant sign, and it had butterflies on it, and Flick was there, and it was massive. And you walk in the next day, and there's 2 turnstiles that are covered up, and you're like, there was it. Was it a hallucination? Did I ever see It's Tough to Be a Bug?
And apparently you can walk a little bit down the path before you run into the sorry, can't go any further.
Yeah, so if you remember the exit path out of there to go back towards Discovery Island on the one side, that is now an entrance and exit, so you can walk in and out of that area, and you can explore around the Tree of Life. You can't make your way down the backside into where It's Tough to Be a Bug was.
Got it. And that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
On the backside, this is obviously walking around the pathway in front of Tree of Life. You can kind of get an idea of how far down the path went. It went down a floor as you were walking. So this is looking down. That would be where the entrance into It's Tough to Be a Bug was. And there is now construction workers everywhere.
Yeah, as you would expect. Look, I don't think this is going to take all that long, because clearly the new show, Zootopia, was staged and established someplace, and they are going through a move-in process. So get all the stuff out of there, move in the new stuff. Will be interesting to see if they change the chairs and the seating in that theater or not.
I think they're going to rip it all out. I think they're going to rip it all out.
That's a big undertaking then. That's a lot to get out and a lot to put back in.
But look, they're almost done test track. Like, they're already testing cars on test track. So they know what they're doing. Like, they're so this is the backside. That right there would be where the exit doors of It's Tough to Be a Bug are on the other side of that. If you go to your right-hand side, right there is a little pathway, my friend. And that little pathway is going to lead to our next image. Oh, it'll lead to a next image in a second. No.
Okay. I put one in between because I wanted to show the Flick is gone, Judy and Nick are in, right? Because that's what's happened here at Animal Kingdom. But if it leads to this next image.
It's a snake.
The snake, and then the turtles? Is that where it goes to?
Yeah, to the turtles. There is Galapagos turtles that are back there that are still open to the public. It is really hard to know that they are back there. So I'm just kind of giving the information that if you still want to see the Galapagos turtles, they are still there, and it's cute, and nobody really goes down that path because it looks like the wall stops you. But no, there's a little path over there. If you turn around, you'll see that snake. And then there's a beautiful horse carving into the area. I mean, it's fabulous back there. It's quiet. If you need literally a brain, just a decompression zone, go back to where the Galapagos turtles are on the backside of Tree of Life.
So the turtles have a shorter line than the kitten, the tiger, right? I'm assuming.
I think people are over the tiger.
Has it gotten less?
Yeah. I don't even think people are like, what tiger now? Come on, man. People's attention span are really short. That's why we're going through these news things so quick.
Yeah, and by the way, forget Animal Kingdom. Let's move over to the Grand Cottage at the Grand Floridian because it is Easter time, and that means the Grand Cottage is back in the lobby along with some Easter eggs.
Yeah, we were surprised that Disney Eats did not promote the Grand Cottage this year. In years past, they had made major mention of the Grand Cottage is coming along with the Easter eggs.
Yes.
So we didn't know if it was coming back or not because there was no mention. Walked in on the opening morning. There's the Grand Cottage. They have a bunch of stuff for sale. And of course, the Easter eggs. One thing I love about these Easter eggs is they are done by the Disney culinary team that is specific to that resort. So every chocolate Easter egg you see is made by a culinary team that works at the Grand Floridian. So there's Uncle Scrooge diving. I love
into his...
this one. This was my favorite one this year. It is Maleficent's dragon, but it's not just Maleficent's dragon. It is the one from Festival of Fantasy Parade at
right.
Kingdom.
That looks like it's just about to breathe fire. It looks great. It's the steampunk type version. I love that.
Yeah.
Seems to always be an orange bird over there.
Or orange birds get smaller and smaller every year.
Get skinnier. Yeah, orange birds losing some weight.
Ozempic.
Al's Toyborn. Can't beat that. I love the Yoda. And here's my question, because one looks like the Yeti. Does the Yeti move inside there? Because that would be
the Yeti lights up and is Disco Yeti.
Oh, okay. So it's just like the attraction. It doesn't move.
Yeah, just like the attraction. Yes, it's great. Yep. The Cinderella one is great. There's two Snow White ones. One is the Evil Queen. The apple turns on it. Brother Bear. There's a good Inside Out 2 one that's out there.
I think there's an image coming up, but first I got the menu from the cottage.
Yeah. Smaller menu. But can I say, Sam, I love my hot cross buns.
And let me go through here because there's a hot cross bun. There's a Mickey cereal pop. Yep. I see a cinnamon roll there.
Or maybe guava cheese.
Guava cheese. Carrot blonde cake pop. Cream cheese, carrot coffee cake.
Yeah.
Looks absolutely amazing. And yes, you are big on those. What is this? This is the
hot cross bun.
The cross bun. Okay.
Yeah. So like imagine, if you will, that is raisin bread.
Oh,
but in loaf form. So there's a trick about this. And if you're going to go over there and try this, you have to wait until these are being pulled out from the actual oven and being put on display, because when they're warm, they put like a little icing on top of it and it melts all the way down the side. But the inside is this doughy, good richness of warmth. Oh man, it could be one of my favorite limited time snacks Disney's ever done.
That's awesome. Love it.
And it's not overly sugary. It's not like that. It's some sugar right there, my friend.
These are some cupcakes here. Look like springtime cupcakes.
Yep. And there's the macaroons. There is the Mickey bar. There's everything.
I love it. And more.
That is
Easter eggs. That's Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Yes.
Evil Queen next to her. Brother Bear. Love
Brother
that.
Bear. Okay.
Brother Bear looking at the cave on the wall. Yeah. There are the drawings on the cave wall.
There's a lot of them here. I don't have all of the images, but over at fantasylandnews.com, you'll find a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Last thing we have to cover is the DVC Lounge over in the Magic Kingdom opened. This is the location that formerly was the shooting gallery in Frontierland. And it is now, I'm missing the name, Greg. What is this called?
It's either McKim's Mile House or McKim's Mill House. I think it's Mile House. McKim's Mile House.
So this is a shout out to Sam McKim.
Home of the pioneers of hospitality.
I love it. Sam McKim was an original Imagineer. He did the original Disneyland maps way back in the day. So some of the classics from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. He is a Disney legend. And I love that it's named after someone. And there's some backstory here.
Sam, had you been down here, we would have been there and been inside.
That is true.
I am not a DVC member, so anybody who loves me and would like to take me to a Moonlight Magic or inside of one of these lounges, I am free.
Yeah, I wish that I was there, Greg, because I would have been one of the first in line.
I wish they weren't taking IDs, or I would have borrowed you.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I understand.
I'm
Well, this
I'm
gets back to what
Sam.
you were saying. They're definitely cracking down
Yeah.
on, who
They
you are,
absolutely
and
were, and they made
yep.
sure to mention when they so there was a little preview it, and they were like, "We're gonna open tomorrow," and they opened the next day, and they opened at 11 AM, and they were making sure you had your blue, DVC Lounge membership card.
Yep. Either the blue card or the app. Inside of the app, they take that too.
Yep. And they wanted your ID, and they wanted to know who was with you, and they wanted their ID.
Well, it's the same thing that they do over at EPCOT in the Imagination Pavilion, so
Yeah, no, so the only thing is when you bring a guest with you, they don't need ID? Over at EPCOT?
So at EPCOT, you can do up to 3 guests.
Right, and I believe this is the same, but they
yes.
were IDing everybody.
Got it. It was now, I will also
And it
say
could be
that
just it was opening day.
the way that DVC works, I am a member. My wife is also a member. So between the two of us, we can each take 3 people if we needed to.
Top of the lounge, buddy. We're going back to the top of the lounge.
The Villains Lair. I've not been there since it's the Villains Lair.
Yeah,
Bear
we
says
gotta go
after
do
spring
that.
break, I completely get that.
Yeah.
A couple of other images from there as well.
Yeah. I mean, we were there opening day to check it out. I've not been inside. Again, I'm not DVC, and that's fine.
That's okay.
But what I thought was great was, of course, it is right down the walkway from Country Bears,
Yes.
and Wendell and Shaker were out meeting and greeting people in line. They were working the line, my friend. Like Wendell shook everybody's hand that was waiting in line.
That's pretty cool.
Love me a bear, man.
Yeah,
love
exactly.
Me a bear hug. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Give me 1 minute here because we are going to move on to Disney Madness. Unless you had something else that you wanted to talk about.
I can talk about bears some more.
You can always talk about bears.
Yeah, I could. No, I got nothing. I mean, look, I got so much going on, Sam. I'm like, there is probably 10 or 15 things that we did not discuss.
There are, and it happens that way all the time, and it just is what it is, right?
Yeah, look, we try and bring everybody all the top news.
We are moving on to Attractions Madness 2025. We are now at the Elite 8. Voting has happened. Let's go over those couple of rounds. Bring us up to date. See what's happening. We want you to vote. Head to DisneyMadness.com. When you get to DisneyMadness.com, you're going to see the latest voting, and you're going to be able to hit vote now to vote. But before we do that, what I was hoping to do was look through some of the matchups that got us to our Elite 8. So if I can, Greg, let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. And I can. In our first group, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind put a shellacking on Living with the Land. I guess we should not be surprised with that. And Pirates of the Caribbean put a shellacking on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
I am proud of you people out there for voting for that way. Good job. I support this decision.
So our first in the voting for the Elite 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind versus Pirates of the Caribbean. And Greg, this was the number 1 and the number 2 seed in this bracket. So that's what the odds said would happen, and that's exactly what happened there.
What a great round. I can't wait to see. It's a classic versus one of the newest rides out there. It is for its time. Pirates was one of the most advanced rides out there. Audio system, everything about
Last one Walt worked on himself. There's a ton that we can talk about through this.
And then there's Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know what's beating it.
I don't either. It was number 1 coming into the tournament. We'll see what happens here. In the second group, moving on to the Elite 8, Avatar Flight of Passage, barely over Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I should have voted one more time.
So close, because this was 51% to 49%. This is all right. Avatar Flight of Passage moves on.
Yeah, that certainly happened. Man, how close was that? Less than
that's the closest of the
percentage
matchups we've had.
That's
so
great.
Avatar moves on to the Elite 8 and will go up against Big Thunder Mountain, which beats Rock and Roller Coaster 75%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Look,
Yeah.
Big Thunder Mountain, it is the classic. It is the thrill ride at Disney. I love it. Yeah.
Right. Holly says that Flight of Passage makes her sick, so she needs to vote and tell us what should be in its place then.
Yeah.
That's what I'll
They're
say.
voting every day, man. It's great.
You can vote every day, 3 times a day. Let's head to our, let me get this position correctly, group number 3. In group number 3, Star Wars Rise of Resistance, taking 80% of the vote over Slinky Dog Dash. Moving on, Rise of Resistance is an Elite 8 category.
Of course.
Now this one's, it's unfortunate. Tomorrowland Transit Authority did not make it to the Elite 8 because it went up against the Haunted Mansion, which, yeah, that's a tough one.
Tough or not, I support them both.
I do too. So we have Star Wars Rise of Resistance versus the Haunted Mansion in our third Elite 8 matchup, which ultimately takes us to the last of our Elite 8s, which is Expedition Everest. Barely past Kilimanjaro Safaris. Interesting, the Battle of Animal Kingdom attractions to get to that Elite 8, and Expedition Everest has made it.
You know my feelings on this.
I do.
I don't know how you people vote for a broken ride.
Well, that's in the other category, the last of our Elite 8 members, Tron Light Cycle Run takes out Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It will be Tron versus Expedition Everest. That is our that's our last matchup. That is our Elite 8.
Yeah, so we have hold on, go back for 1 second.
Yep, let me go.
Oh, there we go. So we
make it a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
So here's what I found interesting here, Greg. When you look at this, every one of the categories, every one of these categories, there is 4 matchups because we're going to the final 4, right? And in every one of those matchups, there is one attraction from the Magic Kingdom. So we could have a final 4 that is all Magic Kingdom or a final 4 that is no Magic Kingdom, depending on how this goes. Because you have Pirates versus Guardians. You have Big Thunder versus Avatar, Haunted Mansion versus Rise, and Tron versus Expedition Everest. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, and keep voting, people. We appreciate your voting on this one. Again, I'm trying not to skew anybody to my opinions because
you're going
my
opinions.
Go ahead. No. I'm not gonna. Look, man, I'm not saying Expedition Everest is a broken ride, but I don't know how it made it this far.
So listen, for those of you watching, here's what you do. You head to that DisneyMadness.com or you'll find it at Fantasyland News. Once you get to this bracket, you hit vote now. Voting is open. I am casting the first votes for the final 4. So there are 8 left. We'll end up with 4. Cosmic Rewind versus Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I'm voting on my own right now. You vote yours.
You can do that. I'm going to vote Guardians. Brings up the next one, which is Flight of Passage versus Big Thunder.
Yeah, I'm going Big Thunder on this one.
You know, I'm stuck because I really want to see the Disney. Anytime I ride Big Thunder today, before it was down, I would think, man, Disneyland is so much better because of the end. So I hope that happens again, but I'm voting Big Thunder. The next one is Rise of Resistance versus the Haunted Mansion.
Look, this is amazing. This is a tough, absolutely tough one to go. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge
Haunted Mansion
Disney fan. But you know, adding that Hatbox Ghost in the wrong spot, I'm going. And there we go again.
Look,
Star Wars is in B mode. I'm going Star Wars.
I am gonna say back to the original. If you could just get on the ride and go, which one would you get on? Now, in both of these areas, there's a pre-show that ties it all together and is part of the story versus just sitting in a doom buggy or sitting in the
That's a great point. That is absolutely a great point.
And I'm going Rise of Resistance. And the last one is Tron versus Expedition Everest. I'm going Tron here. Primarily because of what you said. That's been broken for a long time. My votes are in. I'm counted.
I am too.
And hopefully everybody else there will be voting here soon.
We all voted. Everybody just go and vote. Thank you all so much.
You can vote 3 times. Do it 3 times. It has been phenomenal to see the number of people, and we'll go through that later. But the bracket is set to close before we go live next Wednesday, and it will go live right before we do for the Final Four voting. So
yeah, look, you should see Sam scrambling behind the scenes every single day trying to get this done. Like, my man's working hard. So
it is, and we'll eventually fill out this bracket for sure.
Yes, I appreciate you doing all the hard work on this bracket.
Thanks,
because
dude.
This has been your baby getting it all set up. I get to just support it and give you my opinions, and it's on my website, and we're voting, and I love this, and thank you so much for putting the time and effort. Please, people, go vote, send it out to people if you want to.
Yeah, last thing we got to cover, because if this is my baby, what's your baby?
Oh, there's only one baby I got, and you know why it's my baby?
70 of them.
Because I am supporting my baby at home, Rory. Her and I have been collecting these for 30 weeks now, Sam.
That's right.
So week 30. We are 5 weeks from having halfway points.
Yes, we are a couple behind. So Beaker was number 28, right after
number
Dr.
28.
Bunsen Honeydew.
Yes.
Let's jump ahead to number 29. Pepe the King Prawn. Love it.
Thank you for updating the image here. It looks great. I send you a picture of the update of the fridge. You get the
and we do. And this week's is 30 of 70.
Mildred Huckstetter, DOD, PhD, and a few other things. Mildred is another one of those characters where if you didn't watch the Muppet Show, you would have no clue who Mildred is. And Mildred would always be featured in those dance scenes where they just do one-liners, and they throw one-liners at you.
Usually dancing with either Statler or Wardoff, right? One of those two.
She would be dancing with them. She would also be dancing with like the guy who is always jumping around and stuff. And she'd be like, "What is your problem?" Mildred is great, and she was like the secretary who knew everybody at the Muppet Show. So another deep cut. Pepe, he's a king prawn. He's a good king prawn.
He's awesome.
I am Pepe.
Next Wednesday, everybody, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Thank you for the well wishes. I personally appreciate that. Final Four next week. It'll be interesting to see where we go from there.
Yeah, and as always, you can get Sam at samsdisneydiary.com. You can get him at Sam's Disney Diary on Facebook, Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram. Go support him there. You can get me at fantasylandnews.com, Fantasyland News blog on Instagram, and of course, everywhere else. You'll find all the news on between Sam's site and my site, and all these images are popping up. We appreciate every single person for watching every single week, and we will be back again next week. Until then, Sam, end the line.
Congaloosh. See you next week. Thanks, everybody.